I'm Hazel, it's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week was the patch 9.0.5 rollout, and it brought with it the promised changes along with a few surprises. So I want to take a look at the biggest undocumented changes, things that changed in 9.05 that were not in the patch notes. This is not a complete list, but just the things that I found most exciting. With the patch, they have added 2 more mailboxes to Oribos, effectively doubling the amount of mailboxes in Oribos, so there is now a new one here on the inner ring near the vault, and then another one over here on the outer ring near the PvP vendors. Something that I have always liked to do is track mailboxes on my minimap. You can do that by going to the spyglass on your minimap and then going to townsfolk and then mailboxes. I keep that one all the time because it is usually the thing that I'm looking for, and that will help you find them when they are nearby. Another new thing, this one for PvPers, in 9.05 you can now purchase Marks of Honor in exchange for your Honor points. So at the Honor vendor in Oribos, you are able to buy 5 Marks of Honor in exchange for 2,000 Honor points, and this is fantastic for anybody that is finding themselves kind of capped on Honor or close to capped on Honor and nothing available for them to spend it on, and they want to keep PvPing and they don't want to feel like they're wasting their time. Marks of Honor can be traded for old PvP sets for transmog, and they are account bound, so you can earn Marks of Honor on one character and then mail them to a different character if you want PvP sets on one of your alts that doesn't necessarily PvP. And the biggest thing that they snuck into 9.05, kind of a poorly kept secret, is there is a new Maw Mount available to get right now. So the Bound Shadehound is a Maw rideable mount that is now available to kind of round out the options between the Twisting Corridors mount and the Beastwarns mount. This one does not require you to do anything really hard PvE-wise, and it does not require RNG. All it requires from you is 3,500 total Stygia and Appreciative with Venari, and then some of your time, but it is not time gated, it's not a weekly thing. You should be able to go crank it out in one day if you are feeling motivated. Wowhead has a write-up on that I will link down below for those interested. It is worth noting that in 9.1, in the next major patch that's on its way, we're all going to be able to ride any mounts that we want in the Maw after having done some amount of 9.1 progression. We're a little light on details, but you will be able to ride whatever mount you want, so you don't have to get this one in order to ride your mount in the Maw eventually, but we don't know when 9.1 is. It might be a while, and it is very unlikely that that unlock for riding any mount in the Maw will be day 1. So I think that if you are still actively doing Maw content and you do not have a Maw mount, absolutely worth putting in the time to get this one, because otherwise you're in for a long wait. If you are, however, taking a very, very long break from the Maw and you're not interested in mount collecting for its own sake, then you could probably sit this one out and just chill until 9.1. Something else that came up this week, the Courage pet has now been discovered, or rather the method of getting it has been discovered. This one was actually not technically part of 9.05, this has been in the game since Shadowlands, but it was just now figured out. If you want this pet, you need to take 4 other people to Nemia's retreat here in Bastion, and then have everybody simultaneously pet a Larian cub. There is 9 possible Larian cubs, and as long as at least 5 of them are pet roughly at once, Courage will spawn right next to Nemia. Everybody can pet Courage, and then get the pet after you pet the pet. Super cute pet, very easy to do, and if you don't have friends that like cute things, the group finder is probably going to be fairly popping for this week because it was just discovered. So I would just head out there, list a group if you can't find one up, and recruit 4 other people to pet the nearby Larian cubs to get your pet. One of the biggest things that happened this week with the patch was Valor points, and now that they're live, we have a couple more like confirmed for sure details about not only how you spend them, that was fairly clear, but how you earn them. You are able to get Valor points, of course, from calling. You'll get 35 from a rare quality calling and then 50 from an epic calling, but the main way of getting Valor points is going to be doing from Mythic Plus keys, and we now know for sure that it does not matter what key level you do. As long as it is a Mythic Plus key, you are going to be getting 135 Valor per run. So there may be an influx of people stomping through some low keys very quickly to try to grind out as much Valor as they can. We've also now got official for sure confirmation that the unlocking of upgrade levels is account-wide for Valor. So if you got Keystone Master on your main, all of your alts are going to be able to upgrade their Valor gear to 220 without needing to do the achievement themselves. They will still need to grind out the new base item themselves, and they will need to grind out the Valor points themselves, but this does kind of serve as like a soft, Mythic Plus specific catch-up mechanic for alt gearing. In theory, this should make me want to get an alt that I want to set up for Mythic Plus and like spam a bunch of really low keys and then upgrade their gear all the way to 220, because I technically could do that, but I don't know. I did a lot of keys last week. In my life, I did so many last week that I've done none this week so far. I should do at least one so I get a new vault item on my priest. But I think I'm having a hard time getting motivated to improve my gear. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to use Valor to upgrade my gear on my main, just because my 9.0 goals, you know, my PvE goals are all met at this point. I cleared Castle Nathria on Heroic, and I got my Keystone Master, and I'm not really interested in doing Mythic rating or in pushing keys higher than 15, so I'm not really gonna need better gear until patch 9.1, and in 9.1 there's going to be better gear. So I think I'm gonna take it easy for a bit and then pivot my goals to either PvP, because there's definitely stuff there that I still want, or collecting if PvP turns out to be too frustrating. Also in my life this week, I have become very unexpectedly addicted to Valheim. I picked it up after I saw a bunch of my friends playing it, and a lot of people seem to be having fun playing with their friends and on servers and having crazy stories. And I've just been playing by myself on a solo server, and I've still been having an insane amount of fun. It is very hard to peel myself away from that one. If you're on the fence about Valheim and you are worried about not having people to play it with, I can assure you that it stands up very well as a solo experience also. And it's also, just be aware that it may eat up a bunch of your time. It does kind of function as a time warp, so if you're looking to time travel forward with no idea where all of that time went, then Valheim can probably take care of that for you. And questions for this week. Lolosh wants to know, will there be another version of the PvP Glad Mount? It looks disgustingly sick, but I can't get it because I'm not great at PvP. I feel this one. I relate very strongly. Generally, the way this works is there is one model for the Glad Mount for an expansion, and they recolor it every season. So this particular coloring of the Glad Mount will only be available this season, but I think it's expected, if not confirmed, that there will be a recolor of it available for season 2, and then another one for season 3. That's generally how they work. I would expect this model to be available in some color or another throughout the rest of Shadowlands, which gives both of us time to try to get good. And Jameson wants to know, does one have to do every single Covenant and Renown for all of the dungeons to make sense? Kinda, yeah, which is an odd choice on their part, but a lot of the endgame Shadowlands story is kind of sealed away within individual Covenant campaigns. They do overlap each other some, so you can kind of get like bits and pieces from paying super close attention, but if you want the whole picture up until where we are right now, then you are probably going to want to do each Covenant storyline. You do not need to catch your Renown all the way up to 40 for that. You unlock the final leg of the Covenant campaign at Renown 22, which does not take too long to do with catch-up, so if you have alts, or if you're, I guess, willing to Covenant swap on your main for all 4 of them, it's not insanely onerous, but it is kind of awkward, and it's unusual that there's no other way to get that storyline unless you're willing to like look up a playthrough of it on YouTube or something like that. They have said that in 9.1, the new campaign they're adding is going to be more cohesive and it's going to be aligned along the different Covenants so that you don't have to continue playing all of them to get the updates in 9.1. But for now, if you want to get caught up, that is kind of the move, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat. Somebody else might know better than me. And Brandon wants to know, can you share the meow weakaura? I would love to use it for my priest. So what I had done is I had just grabbed a flash concentration weakaura and then added a meow when the duration was less than 5 with a settings page that looked like this. But I also exported this exact one and just kind of threw it on Wagio, so I will put the link for the exact one that I'm using with my modification in the description if you're after that. It effectively just shows you your flash concentration stacks, shows you the duration, and then it will meow at you. The one thing I changed about it is it will meow at you if you have 5 seconds remaining on a 5 stack of it. I didn't make it meow in less stacks because for the most part you're getting up to 5. So that link is down below. And that has been my week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have questions that you would like me to answer on a news video, please leave them in the comments and include the word question to help me find it. Thank you all so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.